Welcome to The Art of Being Unstoppable, the podcast where we will go beyond the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Be part of down-to-earth, no BS conversations where we will explore hot topics on love and money, relationships and business, beauty, and who we get to be with all that shit in between. With our insights and your actions, let's be unstoppable together. Let's go.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about practicing the pause. Pausing before you respond or react will stop you in your tracks from doing something you may regret later.
I mean,
Speaking from maybe some experience.
Yeah, when I started listening to like the teachings of Kabbalah, it's not religion. It's more of learning about ourselves, our soul, our purpose, why we're here on this earth. And I've been listening to David Guillaume. And the funny thing is, I'm listening to his podcast and he says, hey, what I'm about to tell you is not my original idea. I got it from somebody and I'm giving it to you. And he said, and if you get it, give it away. And isn't that what we do, right? Yeah. People are like, oh, I got to be original and unique. Nobody really does. So one of the things that I heard him say that was so simple, yet so extremely profound when I practice it, is he says, when things are not going the way you expect them, when upsetting things happen, when situations, circumstances, people show up in your life that annoy you, frustrate you, you have this strong emotional reaction, pause and say, oh, what a pleasure. And the oh, what a pleasure is, instead of getting angry and frustrated and upset, you get to see the experience as something that's coming from the creator, the divine, the source, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, as an opportunity to see something that you get to transform in your life. And we're going to get these lessons over and over and over and over. If you have the experience of, man, I always attract narcissistic relationships. I'm always attracting the narcissist. I mean, I think I must have said that 10 times. Like, what the heck is going on? Pause. What a pleasure. There's something in me that I get to see. There's a lesson, a blessing, a learning. I get to interrupt my habits, my patterns, my behaviors, and the pause helps you to just get present to, okay, this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing that's happening for me. It's a blessing. It's something that I get to lean into. I get to expand by being with it.
Yep.
And the pleasure is almost shifting your frequency, shifting your energy in that moment from angry, bitter, frustrated to calm. Okay, I trust you. I got you. I see you. I know you're giving me a blessing right now. I don't like it. It feels so fucking uncomfortable. This person just cut me off and hit my brand new Mercedes-Benz. I don't drive a Mercedes-Benz, but like, how can you find pleasure in that? I lost my business. I lost my relationship. My parents died. Pause. What a pleasure. How can there be any pleasure in that? Because if you see it's part of your journey, and if you see that it's part of your purpose on earth, your purpose on this planet, your purpose in this lifetime, imagine what it would be like. And I have a funny story, but I know you want to say something, Vicky. But imagine if we could just practice the pause, which is the hardest part, stopping, and just what a pleasure. Ooh, this day is shit. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. The light is opening. You got to see the darkness to appreciate the light. But what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you tell me all the time, I have a hard time with the pause.
I was taking a pause because my dogs are barking like crazy right now in the background. So I was like putting myself on mute. So, I need my office. I need my office. Oh, what a pleasure. I'm pausing. Oh, what a pleasure. Look, they just stopped barking. Oh, well, there they go again. Yeah, I really have a hard time with the pause. A lot of the times especially, I have a hard time. I really do. It is what it is. I have a hard time with the pause. And when we've been talking about this, and I had said to you, that I would really like to start listening to I've been listening to his podcast, but I haven't downloaded the Kabbalah, the app that you had given me. Hold on one second, okay? There we go. But yeah, I really want to get, because you have shown me, like, I want you to tell your story, but you have shown me that pause is so important because it does change things. If I could learn to just pause for that moment without like saying to my husband, "What am I?" Because that's how I feel like I am.
Right.
I do.
Right.
I feel like, and we've always been that way. And that's one of my biggest aha moments in the last week was stop doing that. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop going at him. Just, right? Like, just take the time and just listen and then respond, like, pause. But, ooh, Tina. I have a hard time with it.
It reminds me of in science class, right? When we learned about magnets, and we were taught if you have a like magnet, like a like energy and a like energy, they attract each other. A negative and a negative attract each other. And then if you have a negative and a positive, they repel each other. And so I was thinking about this and I said, okay, I'm not sure if I entirely believe in this whole concept of pause, what a pleasure, if good things are actually going to come from this and the universe will open up, and it's a universal law. Like, it's not law of attraction. It's like reciprocity, or I don't know what the term is. I will find out for you guys, though, and I'll share in another episode. But I was kind of a little apprehensive and a little like, yeah, right. Every guru in the personal development world says this, and all you have to do is practice it. So I was kind of going in with a little bit of a skeptical mind, but I was open to expanding.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, I go to the gym. I look at the parking lot and it is jam-packed. And I thought, okay, this is insane. Where did all these people come from? Do I really even want to go to the gym? I should just go early in the morning. All of these thoughts are there. Pause the thoughts. What a pleasure. All these people are capable of getting up in the morning on a Saturday and getting to the gym. I wonder who I'm going to meet today. I wonder if there's going to be some really cool people at the gym. I go, I find a front row parking spot. Somebody's pulling out as I'm pulling in. I thought, okay, wow. Maybe this pause, what a pleasure, seeing the good, the like attracts the like. I'm getting rewarded. I got front row parking. Yes. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. So I go, I do my workout, and I decide to venture out to Costco. Now,
on
I
a
don't
Saturday
know.
morning, nonetheless.
Yeah,
On a
if you're in
Saturday.
if you're in Europe, you probably won't even know what this is. It's a giant warehouse where you get everything in bulk. And I literally just went the week before, so I needed queso and chips for my daughters. They love the queso there. And I'm thinking, really? Do I really want to go into Costco, wait in this huge line, have a parking spot far away for queso and chips? Pause. What a pleasure. I get to practice patience today. I get to be with the busyness, the hustle and bustle, and I get to practice slowing down. What a pleasure. I pull into the parking lot. Somebody right in front of the doors is leaving. I slip right into the parking spot. That has never happened to me ever. I'm always packing the back nine, okay? The back nine of Costco. So I go in, I get my queso, my chips, a few other things. The lineup is from the tills to the back of the warehouse by the meat department. I mean, I'm looking at these lines thinking, this is insane. I know I have 10 things in my cart right now, but it is not worth the wait in line. Just leave your cart here. Just walk out the door. Tina, just walk out the door. I'm like, pause. What a pleasure. Another opportunity to practice patience. Where do I really have to go to today? I have nothing going on. I have nothing but time right now. In that exact moment, 2 tills opened up. I was in that line in 2 minutes. I was through the line. My groceries were checked out in 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, this actually, I don't know how to explain this right now, but this is some funny shit. So then I go to the grocery store again. There's traffic. It's hustle and bustle. I'm beginning to think, is it Christmas time? Really? Because this is Christmas traffic.
Yeah.
Where are all these people coming from? I pull up to the grocery store, and lo and behold, you'll never guess what you saw. A free parking spot right at the front entrance of the grocery store. I called Vicky because I said, Vicky, you cannot make this shit up. But I feel like that was almost the creator, source, God, universe saying, this is possible. There is an infinite amount of wisdom, abundance, light available to you. Are you going to keep doing what you've always done? Hustle, bustle, run, go, go, go. Or are you going to start paying attention to the lessons I'm trying to give you so that you can expand who you are, expand your soul to let the light come in? See, because if I would have been stuck in my head about, screw this, I'm leaving my cart here, I would have never experienced getting through the line and trusting the process. That pain, I didn't want to feel the pain. I was trying to avoid it by leaving. That's immediate gratification. Instead of, let me just be with the discomfort of waiting and being patient. And then, lo and behold, I didn't actually even have to wait. I got what I actually wanted. For me, it was so mind-blowing because it had me look at the way I've been operating in life. It had me look at the way I've been doing business. It had me look at the setbacks, even though I always say setbacks are setups for something greater. I was saying it, but I wasn't believing it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really truly embodying it and seeing that I can only be given so much light until I expand the vessel to receive more light, more abundance, more wisdom. And for me, I really got present to maybe life isn't what I've been thinking life is. Maybe life is just about expanding my vessel, my soul, my opportunities for growth, and everything else that's supposed to come my way is already set in motion. The universe is just waiting for me to expand to receive it. That was so profound for me. And it was one simple phrase. Not even a phrase.
No.
3 words.
Yep.
Pause. What a pleasure.
What a pleasure.
Seeing it and practicing it and taking the actions, right? An insight is only an insight until you apply action, but actually taking this and applying it so you can get your own evidence.
Yeah.
And that's what I think I was missing because I was so focused on all the shit that happened in my life and all the setbacks.
Yeah. And we
But
talk about it all the time. You know, if you're going to sit in your shit, that's exactly what's going to happen is you're just going to keep receiving shit because you're not going to be able to get out of that. You know, I traveled for the first time in my life by myself. I went to see my son in Florida. I flew by myself. It was a big deal for me. I know. You know, being an only child, I think I've always wanted to have someone with me, right? And I was so proud of myself. I did it. So on the way there, you know, I go to the airport, I checked my bag and then I had a carry-on and, you know, it was all good. And I remember when I got through security, I had to take everything off, put it all in the bins or whatever. And my suitcase, the wheels were just on the outside of the bin. The guy was like, no big deal. So they put it through. Now on my way home, and by the way, I never realized that you can there's a valet bag check, which I never knew. I mean, again, I don't fly a lot, and I never flew by myself. So usually we just go into the airport and we all stand in the lines. But there was literally no lines for me on the way there or the way back, which is crazy. This was something I wanted to do, and I was so proud of myself for doing it. So on the way back, I've got my suitcase and I checked the one and I'm down and my bags are heavy because now I've bought souvenirs for my grandkids and, so I have a lot of stuff. I go down in the airport and I go to put everything in the bins. And the guy says to me, "That's not a carry-on." I'm like, "What do you mean it's not a carry-on?" And at first I was like, oh, I could just feel like I'm going to start to, I have a hot flash. I'm going to start to get all upset because, and I didn't. I said, "Oh my goodness, are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." He goes, so he went and got somebody else. They checked it. Now there's a line behind me. Okay. So I was so proud of myself for just saying, "Okay, no problem." I said, he goes, "Come on, lady, come with me." And I appreciated everything, right? Like I was not getting angry. I was not doing, so he walked me through this little place so I didn't have to go back through the whole line. He said, "When you come back, just come to this little thing and I'll let you through." Upstairs I went. I ran right back out to the valet, right, who I had already checked my one bag. And I said, "I've already checked one, but when I just got through security," he's like, "No problem." He checked it 2 seconds. I go back down. There's not one person in line. Not one person.
Wow.
Now, you have to realize, too, I had already had my shoes off. I had already had everything in the bins. I had to put everything back on. There's a line behind me. I turn and I apologize. And I guess I did practice the pause. I didn't say it, but I did because I didn't get all worked up and make anybody wrong or anything. It happened. It happened.
How
And
many
so then I
times?
came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have people like, "Oh my God, I can't even believe this. You said this and da 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 da," go on and on and
Yeah.
on. And you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me
What
be
can you do?"
responsible for
And
this."
there was a lady in the line like beside me, and she had a suitcase, and it was like big as my one that I had already checked, not my carry-on. And so I was teasing the guy as he's walking me out. And I said, "Well, you better hope that she doesn't get through here, because if she gets through with that bag," and he starts laughing, right? He goes, "Oh no, she won't be." So anyway, I come back through, and the gentleman who, you have to give your passport and they kind of take your picture, and he goes, "Back so soon?" Right? Because he didn't even realize, because he had said, "Well, make sure you come back to Florida again. I love Detroit," because I was flying back to Detroit. He goes, "I love Detroit, but make sure you come back to Florida and see me." So when I came back, he's like, "Oh, you're here already?" Made a joke with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
And when I went back up, I said to the man, he said, "Thank you so much for being patient." And I said, "You're very welcome. Things happen." They were so kind, and they were so, I think, surprised that I wasn't like reacting. I didn't react. And I was so proud of myself. I grabbed my stuff, walked through, sat down. And I grabbed myself a beer. I sat and relaxed for like 20 minutes. And then I went and sat where I was supposed to sit to wait for the plane. And it was crazy. And they were asking people to check their bags, everything. And I'm like, "See, I already checked my bag. I didn't,
Yeah.
I would have had to have done it then anyway."
Yep.
Right? And I didn't have to.
Yep.
And it was
Yeah.
just, everything happened and I wasn't worked up. I stayed calm. I had patience, and it's not an easy thing. When things get thrown at us, the universe, or like you said, whatever you believe in, throws stuff at us, take it. And it is a lesson. And I learned that we don't have control. And, I'm all about the schedule and figuring things out. And, when I was in Florida, I had to drive by myself. I had never been there before. I had to drive and find my son where he was and then go places with his car I had never done before. And one day I had to go, and I was driving. He's like, "Oh, Mom, you have to switch. You have to go to another place instead of coming here." And I said, "Quinn, I don't know where I'm going." He said, "It's okay, Mom. You can do this. You can do this." I'm like, Can I really? And I did, Tina. So, and then when I come home and you were talking about this, and I was like, it is a pleasure, really and truly. We get to look at things. It's all in how we get to see things. And if we look at things as an obstacle or as the shitstorm that we think we have, if we look at things like that, yes, then that's the way it's going to be. But if we can choose to look at things like the way you had, like that it is a pleasure, or with patience, look at what opens up for us. And look at where
and it's
we
not
grow.
And it is about our own growth, but there's such a rise in incivility in the world where people are walking around being so reactive. And what I heard in your sharing is when people said to you, thank you so much for being so patient. Because when we don't practice the pause, when we overreact, we're actually projecting our shit onto other human beings, other people, as if it's that guy's fault that the bag is, like it's not his fault. But you ever go into a doctor's office and it says, there's a sign that says, please keep your negative comments to a minimum. If you have nothing nice to say, please don't say anything at all. And I thought, wow, this must actually be a huge issue for them to have a sign that says, hey, like,
Right?
check yourself before you yourself.
Why should that even be? Like, really and truly, why should you have to put a sign up to tell people to be freaking nice? Why?
Because people need reminders. And this is the thing. When we are not practicing the pause, when we're blaming others, when we're projecting our stuff, we're putting more negative energy into the world. So we're either going through life giving people energy or robbing them of their energy. And if we are responsible and willing to see and ask ourselves the question, am I giving energy? Am I taking away? Am I contributing to somebody or am I robbing them? See, the people that come in that are negative, we need them in our life. We need to see, they need to come into, I call it like our movie. Our life is our movie. These people come into our movie for a reason. They're there. They're put there as a test. Now, we're either going to pass the test or we're going to fail the test. But what happens when you fail a test? You got to do it over and over and over again until you get it right. And so if you don't like a scene in the movie, you can't control the negative ninny that is complaining about everything. You got to remove yourself from the movie. That's it. You can't change negative ninny. You can't change, but you can change the way you react to life and what's happening to you. Now, most people won't do that because it actually takes you, me, us getting out of the need for instant gratification. Yeah. Things don't go my way, I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to blame you. Well, that immediately makes you feel better. And that's what we're doing. I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to feel discomfort. I don't want to feel embarrassed. So not my pattern, but the pattern could be I'm going to be angry and then people are going to react to me and I'm going to get something from that exchange. And I saw a really funny video the other day and this lady came up to the counter and she said, I bought this and it doesn't work and I want my money back right now. And the woman said, okay, here you go. She's like, what? Just like that? She said, yeah. Well, you're not going to argue with me? She said, no. She goes, do you want me to argue with you? And the lady said, yeah, just a little bit. She's like, oh, okay. I am not giving you your money back. This is not my problem. Well, I want to speak to your manager. Well, my manager isn't here right now. Da, da, da. And then they were having this dialogue. She's like, fine, I'll give you your money back. And don't ever come back here again. She's like, wow, that was really good. Thank you. She's like, you're welcome. And I thought it was so hilarious because this is literally, do we go through life wanting to have that instant gratification? Yes, we do. Yeah. And if we can't get it, if we're arguing with our spouse and they're not fighting back, what do? We call our girlfriend. We call our friends. We go grab a glass of wine. We go whatever we do to stuff that feeling emotion, or we go cheat and have an affair. Oh, you're not going to give me what I want. Well, I'm going to go get what I want. Instead of just like pause, what a pleasure to be in this opportunity to communicate what I want and what I need. Now that doesn't feel comfortable. The space of what a pleasure is not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. We could even say it like gritting our teeth, like what a pleasure, like until we actually believe it. Yeah. Fake it. Because that part is not ever comfortable. No. But we can't expand unless there's discomfort. We can't expand unless we see the darkness. We can't grow without those people in our movie that are going to challenge us. that are going to test our patience, test our humility, test our willingness, our courage, all of that stuff. If we want something in life and we ask God, source, universe, like, please give me courage to grow what I'm about to grow. The universe doesn't say, courage, here you go. You're automatically courageous.
Yeah.
No, God will send you opportunities to practice being courageous. And you get those opportunities and you're like, oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that leap in business. I don't want to take that risk. Okay, well, I'll send you another way to practice being courageous. Oh, yuck, having that tough conversation? I don't want that. Having this? I don't want that. Okay, well, let me send you something else. And you're like, oh my God, my life is so hard. Well, you're asking for something. The universe is giving it to you, and you're not willing to step into the discomfort to have it and to stretch and to open and expand.
Yeah.
Well, then keep learning the lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we don't learn the lesson, when we avoid the pain, we prolong the pleasure. We prolong the process. We're all here to learn something and go through a process in relationships, in business, in our health. All of it is a process. But when we go through life avoiding pain, we're actually avoiding the process. You know, when you were talking, I think it was another podcast episode we did, you said the worst thing you can say is if somebody has a breakup is, oh, what was it? Like, this is happening.
Oh, yeah. Just take this time for you.
Oh, take this time for you.
Don't feel the feelings that you're going to feel. Take this time for you. Actually, when we don't take the time to actually feel the feelings, like you just said, it is a process. Everything is a process. But no one wants that. Everybody wants to just, no, I need to be fixed. And it's okay. And we'll just, whatever. No, it's a process. And you need to go through that process.
And you don't need to. Some people
you don't need to. I shouldn't say you need to. You get to.
Well, I mean, like, it's just, how quickly do you want to get what you want in life? Because you can delay the process. You could avoid the grieving process. You can delay the health process. You could delay the relationship process. You can go drink all the wine you want and smoke all the doobs you want, or go have all the affairs you want, or do whatever that's stuffing the feeling.
Yeah.
Or, and you know, you might be 80 years old and realize, oh shit, I've been in a relationship that never served me. Now, okay, great. I get to go try the process again in another lifetime. We can delay it forever, or we can be with the discomfort now. It's almost like, have you
Choose
ever
your
had
heart.
food poisoning? Yeah.
Choose your
Have you
heart.
ever had food poisoning?
Yes. Horrific.
Like when you're really sick and you're like, God, I never want to go through that again. Like, I'm never going to eat sushi again because I ate sushi and I got food poisoning. And what do? We take gravel. We take all this stuff to try and stuff the stuff from coming up. It's like, no, just purge. Let it out. Pause. What a pleasure. What a pleasure to be puking my brains out right now. Well, when we take all these medicines and everything to avoid one pain, we prolong. Now we can't sleep well because we're all drugged up and we sleep all day. Now our sleep is impacted and we prolong the process instead of just being with the process. Puke your brains out. Feel it, all of it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Okay, good. Don't like it. You know,
Right.
I'm sick. I'm going to take all this cold and flu stuff and I don't want to feel like this and I'm going to numb the pain. No, just be with it. Snot your face out.
Yeah.
Like, puke your brains out. Shit your brains out. I don't know what you have to go through, but I'm not saying don't take medication or
not at all. But it's so true. You know, we can put this into every aspect of our life. Every aspect, whether it's grief, whether it's happiness, whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. We get to do this in every aspect of our lives. That is a process. Go through the process. You know, I used to say to my grandkids, like, you know, you put your boots on, put your coat on, put your gloves on, put your hat on, right? It's a process. They have to go through all the process, and it's the same process every day. And I take them to school twice a week. It's the same process every day. They don't want to go through that process. They don't want to put their mitts on. They don't want to put their hat on. They don't want to do this. Then they get outside and, Gigi, it's so cold out here. Yeah, because you didn't go put your mitts on, put your hat. It's a simple process. But people want to take shortcuts. People want, like you said, instant gratification. People don't want to feel the feels of the negative, of everything. They don't want to feel it. You know, I had a really hard time in November, and I allowed myself to feel the feels. I lived the grief of losing my parents. Christmas is hard. I took 2 full days, felt sorry for myself, but I felt them. I didn't feel sorry for myself and just sit there and wallow in it. I sat there and I felt the feels. I had memories. I went through every process of remembering my parents and what we would be doing right now and all of that to get to that Sunday morning when I woke up and said, you know what? I got to feel it. I got to go through it all. And then I got up on Sunday and I said, today's going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be a beautiful day because I have the memories and I have all of the good. I needed to feel all those things. I needed to. And to not let yourself do that. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, you're not, and it's okay. It's okay not to be good. Just be honest with yourself. Feel it.
You know, it's really interesting that you just shared that because I was thinking just yesterday, one of the processes that I was avoiding was communicating with my business partner. And there was things that I could see that were sabotaging the business.
Yeah.
And I remember like thinking, well, I don't need to say anything. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Like avoiding the process. But the process it was having the courage to speak my truth, to stand in my power, to say what I want and what I need. And my whole life, I've been holding back what I want, what I need, not communicating. And so I remember you said to me yesterday after I finally had that conversation, I'm like, whoa. You know, this, everything that I wanted to say. And I realized that I was avoiding that process. And it took a year and I had to have extreme setbacks all year in every area of my life. And you said, trust, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Because I was making myself wrong for, man, if I would have just done this a year ago. It's like, no, you weren't ready a year ago because you had to learn all these other lessons. You had to let go. You had to expand the vessel, the soul, to be able to stand in your power and be okay with letting go of the attachment of the results and what might come of you communicating what you need and what you want. And so I see sometimes we might be thinking, oh man, I've been delaying this process, or oh, you might hear something and it might trigger something in you and you might feel bad about delaying your own process, or why didn't I know this, or why didn't I see this? Because you weren't meant to see it until right now. You weren't meant to go through it until right now. If you're able to receive what we're saying right now, that means your soul is open to receiving it now.
That's
and
right.
Maybe you weren't before. So we got to trust, even when we're talking about processes and not following the processes, trust that you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the place in between, the pause and oh, what a pleasure, the discomfort, every time you feel discomfort, every time you feel like uncomfortable, that you're about to take the next step, man, embrace that so much, because expansion allows more light to come in, more abundance to come in, more freedom to come in. And there is an abundant source of energy. There is an abundant source of revenue, money, love. Everything that you want is available. It's available for everybody.
Yeah.
Not just select few. The people that seem to have it all, that seem to have the money, the health, the relationships, consider that the reason why they have what they want in their life, and when they really feel truly fulfilled, because people have all those things and don't feel fulfilled because they were put on this planet in those situations where they already have wealth and abundance because they're supposed to learn something else in order to feel fulfillment. Just because they have more things doesn't make them more fulfilled. And you might have all the things and not feel fulfilled. It's because you haven't learned the lessons that you've come here to learn.
Yeah.
Like when I had my multi-7-figure business and I had my house manager and I had money and I was traveling the world and I could do and buy, it felt like anything that I wanted. My vessel wasn't, my soul wasn't ready to receive that much abundance because I still believed that I wasn't enough. So when the universe said, okay, here, I'm going to give this to you, but I'm going to give it to you to show you that you are enough. It's not the things that are going to make you enough. I'm going to teach you that lesson. So when I was, 15% body weight and in the best shape of my life, it was like the universe was saying, okay, work really hard. I'm going to give this to you, but you're going to see you're not ready to actually even receive that because your soul, your vessel isn't ready to step into that. And it wasn't because I looked in the mirror and all I could see was imperfections and not enough and not working hard enough. So it was taken away. I sabotaged. Then I put on 50 pounds and 50 pounds heavier. I can look in the mirror and be like, you are actually enough right here, right now. And so now when I go to the gym and I exercise, it's not because I have to work really hard and I have to release this weight and I have to. No, it's like I'm at the gym because I look amazing. I feel amazing. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to have fun. And I go in the, not just the women's section. Before I would have never done that. If I wasn't perfect, I would never go work out with the men. I wouldn't want anybody to see my imperfections. Now, and people say it comes with age. No, it comes with expanding the soul, expanding that we are perfect, whole, and complete, not just saying it, believing it. And yes, do I want to release the excess weight?
Sure.
Yes, but not because I have to, and not because I need to, and not because I'm not good enough the way that I am right now. I walk into a room right now and people are like, whoa, who is that person? Because they're not looking at the exterior. They're seeing my energy. They're seeing my light. They're feeling my
inner beauty from inside of you. That's what they see is the inner beauty. And if you don't work on the inner, it don't matter what you look like on the outside. It doesn't. Because you're not beautiful on the outside. No matter how beautiful you are, the inside, it has to come from in here. It really does. You have to love you. You have to love you. And yes, we can say you're perfect, whole, and complete exactly the way you are because you are. You are.
You got to own it.
You have to believe it and you have to see it. You have to be able to look in that mirror and see not the wrinkles or the extra 20 pounds or whatever. You have to see you, your soul, who you get to be. And that is a beautiful thing. And you got to do that.
Well, I'm just going to pause and say, oh, what a pleasure.
Oh, what a pleasure.
Vicky is completely frozen right now. And I think maybe that is the sign from the universe that this podcast is complete. It's perfect, whole, and complete right now as it is, just like you. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Let us know what you're hearing. Let us know what you're getting. And hopefully this is recording. Maybe we might have to come back, but thank you for being here, and we'll see you back at the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Well, friends, that is the end of our episode today. If you love this episode, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And please share us with your friends and tag us on your socials at The Art of Being Unstoppable. So for today, have yourself a beautiful day and let's be unstoppable together. See you next time.